Good morning, Canberra, for Cam's Mortgage Minute for Monday, September the 10th. Today I'm going to talk to you about some common mistakes that investors, property investors, typically make, and some of the mistakes that you should try to avoid if you want to be a property investor. The number one mistake, it seems, that's fairly common is poor property selection. That's it. It starts with picking the wrong property. Well, how does this happen? Well, it happens from lack of research. If you're going to buy a property, do the homework. It's no different if you were going to buy a house to live in. If you're going to buy one to invest in, make sure it's in the right neighborhood, it's in good condition, all the criteria you should be looking for. Number two is lazy expense tracking. A lot of folks hate doing accounting, so they don't really track expenses that well. But on a rental property, there's really two things you're working with, either increasing revenue or decreasing expenses. And unless you know where you're at with both and you track them really well, you're never going to figure this out. It could be something as simple as, let's say, for example, you might have a water leak that you don't know about, but if you don't track your water bills properly, you'd never know. So you've got to stay on top of these things because there's limited opportunities here. Inadequate tenant screening. The tenant screening process with some landlords is really lax. You have to make sure that these people that you're picking and putting into your home are people that are not going to cause you added brain damage. I know they don't live in your home, but pretend as if they were going to live in your home and you want people that are good. So how do you avoid some of the pitfalls? Well, you should be checking their credit. You should be checking their employment, their references. Make sure you get a pay stub or two. Check with the previous landlord references. Check personal references. Make sure you got their photo ID. Make sure they are who they say they are. And ensure you get your, your security deposit and everything up front. So those are some of the ways that you could avoid that. Negligent superintendent supervision. What that basically means is if you have a large rental building that has a property manager on site, follow up on the property manager. Make sure they're doing their job. It's not enough to just rely upon them and say, hey, they're going to do it. No, you got to make sure you're on the ball and you're following up on it. Sloppy accounting goes back to what we said before about expense tracking. Accounting is very important. If you're going to keep records yourself, make sure you have some kind of a program, let's say QuickBooks, Excel worksheet, something that's going to help you that when it comes time to go to your accountant or deal with CRA, you're not going to have added grief. So stay on top of it. Deferring property maintenance and repairs. This is a big one for landlords. They say, you know what, if I can just extract a little more cash out of the place now, I'll do the fix-ups later. Eventually, those fix-ups are going to catch up with you. And another thing that'll happen is if you neglect your building and your property, the good tenants are going to leave and only the crappy ones are going to be left. That's not what you want. You need to have the building in tip-top shape. You're attracting the best tenants and you make sure that it's always running smoothly. Complacency on the rents. What that basically means is stay up to date with where rents are. What you're allowed the increases annually, make sure you do them on time so you can make sure that you are gradually increasing your rents. If a tenant leaves, make sure what the market rents are in the area, the neighborhood, and make sure you're charging adequately. And on the flip side, if you're getting a lot of turnover, maybe you're charging too much. And you got to make sure that that's right so it doesn't constantly give you grief. Anyway, those are just a few of the tips. If you want to be a landlord, it's a fabulous time and a great opportunity. Prices are certainly in Victoria have taken a bit of a hit. In the outlying areas, prices are down further. Rates are sensational. We have lenders that will allow you to own multiple properties, so there's lots of opportunities. So if you are interested, give me a call. Give us a call at the Auxilium team. It's Cam the Mortgage Man. Always happy to help. I'll talk to you soon and I'll see you tomorrow.